Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Cucumber training program. In the last class, we created a couple of scenarios and we have executed our feature files, right? Along with the step definitions, we have executed our feature files. So in the today's class, my concept, what we are going to study is basically how can we execute a specific test scenarios. See, the simple point is basically we have, if you clearly observe the feature files what we have created, roughly in the login page, we have a one scenario. In the Salesforce account, we have a one like that. We have multiple scenarios created here. So, how can we handle these many scenarios? So, it means I would like to run only few sets of scenarios only out of available or out of defined 20 scenarios, let's say. So generally when we are working on an automation testing or in a manual testing, basically once the deployment was completed, we will conduct a smoke test on an application. Right, we will conduct a smoke test on a particular application whenever this one is conducted, whenever a release got executed, whenever the deployment got executed successfully, a smoke test will be run to check the complete deployment status. In such cases, we will have few sets of test cases or a few sets of scenarios which will verify the smoke test functionality or which will verify the smoke testing. So how we are gonna split that particular one? Usually manual testing team will split the smoke test cases and regression test. They will split for us basically. So we have 20 scenarios are there for the entire application, and manual testers identified 5 as the smoke scenarios. So manual testers identified that these 5, if these 5 got executed successfully, the build deployment was completed successfully. So they decided with this particular 5 scenarios. So whenever the deployment was completed, in order to check out whether the deployment process is successful or not, I need to execute only 5 scenarios out of 20. How come? How can I specify only these scenarios it will execute? To specify this concept, we are using tags concept in Cucumber. So we people are using tags concept in Cucumber. So the ultimate objective of this particular tag concept out over here is we will specify or we will split down the scenarios into either smoke or regression or any other type. We need to define at the rate name to the scenario, and even in the test runner we need to specify the desired name which we need to execute. Let me show you a simple example for this. So I have a 3 different feature files within my project, and at the rate smoke test. So I'm defining this feature file as at the rate smoke test. The another feature file scenario, I'm defining it as at the rate regression test. So this is a regression test scenario and this is a smoke scenario, and another one is at the rate reg test only. So I have added 2 regression test scenarios and 1 smoke scenario. So we have one test runner class, right? So let me open the test runner, whatever we have created. Within the test runner, so here, after the glues, I'm specifying tags is equal to smoke test. Let me check out the namings, what I have given. It's a capital S, smoke, capital S. Smoke test. I have given only the smoke test. Okay, let me run this test runner, and moreover, in this test runner, I am not specifying any feature file here. Directly, I'm pointing to this particular folder, features of folder. Whenever we are pointing to that particular folder, how many features are there, it will execute on the features, but the only thing it will consider is among all the feature files available, it will check for the scenarios which are having at the rate a smoke test, and it will execute only those scenarios. Let me run. In my current scenario, I have only one smoke scenario. When there's a test got executed, it will execute only one scenario. Let me see in the console basically. So one scenario got executed. For suppose, for an instance, so here I'm changing these reg test to smoke test. So out of three scenarios, in the current example, out of three scenarios, okay, out of three scenarios, for two scenarios we defined as a smoke test, and let me run my test runner. Let me run my test runner. So here, right click, run as a test runner. So here it's going to execute, and if you observe here the total number of scenarios, there are two scenarios are there. Cool. Great. Like this, what are all the smoke tests are there? We can execute that. So the main beauty of this particular one is, so we no need to maintain with this attacks, the main advantage is we no need to create again another test suite for smoke test cases. Okay, for the smoke test cases, what are all the suits or the scenarios we generated, we can split from them with this tag annotation, and moreover, whatever the group we want, we can execute with those groups. And generally, in the real time, when we are working, not only at the rate of smoke test, we will define at the rate. What additionally we want to do means test case hyphen 0001. So, for suppose if at all you are maintaining your test cases in Zira or version 1 or Jaffa, whatever the tool might be, each and every test case or scenario will have a corresponding manual test case, right? So we will specify the manual test case here specifically to get the data from the Excel files. In order to get the data from the Excel files, we are using this test case hyphen 001 and that particular annotation syntax. Okay, so here we use it to define this particular way. Okay, cool. The test case name followed by a name. Okay, test case number followed by a name, which will be useful for us to pull the data from an Excel file. We will see moving further how exactly we can pull the data from any Excel files. But this is the way. So with the help of these at the rate tag name, and in this test runner, we need to specify the desired tag names. Usually a simple question will rise on our mind. Okay, if it is a single tag name, that's fine. I would like to pass a multiple tag names. Then at the rate tag name 2, comma, at the rate tag name 3, like that. You people can pass what are all the desired tags you want. You can just pass that particular tags information here. Automatically your script will be executed on those tags. Okay, automatically your script will be executed on all those tags. Great. So this is the way how can we pick or how can we execute group of test cases. Okay, how can we execute here in terms of a Cucumber? We can consider them as group of scenarios in a bunch. This is all about the tags and the concept, guys. In the next concept, we will see, in the next session, we will see further more concepts. That's all I have. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye bye.